The Silent Guardians. The stars had never seemed so ominous to Admiral Helena Chen as they did now, glittering coldly on the main view screen of her command center deep beneath the Pacific Ocean. For decades, humanity had believed itself alone in the cosmos. That illusion had shattered 18 months ago when the first alien transmission reached Earth. 6 months after that, the first diplomatic envoys arrived. They called themselves the Galactic Confederation, 17 spacefaring species united in trade and mutual defense. Their technology dwarfed humanity's public capabilities. Their ships could cross the void between stars in days rather than the centuries our best theoretical models predicted. They wielded energy weapons that made nuclear arsenals look like children's toys. And they treated humans like curious primitives, barely worth noticing except as potential clients or subjects. That was their first mistake. Status report, Admiral Chen said, her voice steady despite the weight of responsibility pressing down on her shoulders. Around her, the hidden command center hummed with activity, screens displaying readouts from sensors that the rest of the world didn't know existed, monitoring movements that the aliens believed went undetected. The Veloxian diplomatic vessel has entered orbit, Admiral, reported Commander Jackson, his fingers dancing across holographic interfaces. They're requesting another meeting with the United Earth Council. Chen nodded, her expression revealing nothing. The Veloxians, a militaristic species with exoskeletons resembling metallic insects, had broken away from the Confederation 3 standard months ago. Unlike the condescending but ultimately peaceful Confederation, the Veloxians saw Earth as a strategic resource to be claimed. Their diplomacy consisted of thinly veiled threats and demands for resources. "And our assets?" she asked. "Ghost Fleet remains undetected in the Kuiper Belt. Phantom Squadron is maintaining surveillance. Lunar Base Artemis reports all systems green," Jackson replied. "Project Poseidon is at 97% readiness." Chen allowed herself a small smile. "Good. Let the politicians play their games with the Veloxians. We'll be ready when diplomacy fails." The existence of Earth's true defense capabilities was humanity's most closely guarded secret. While the world's governments publicly fumbled with primitive rockets and struggled to maintain aging space stations, a coalition of Earth's nations had pooled their resources, technology, and brightest minds to create a hidden defense force that operated in the shadows. The catalyst had come 50 years ago, a crashed alien scout ship in the Gobi Desert. Reverse engineering its technology had accelerated human development by centuries, but Earth's leaders made a crucial decision. They would keep their advancements secret. They had studied enough history to know what happened when technologically advanced civilizations encountered less developed ones. If humanity was to survive in a galaxy teeming with ancient, powerful species, surprise would be their greatest weapon. "Incoming transmission from General Reynolds at Artemis Base," announced the communications officer. The general's face appeared on screen, her expression grave. "Admiral, our deep space arrays have detected multiple warp signatures at the edge of the solar system. They're not Confederation vessels." "Veloxian?" Chen asked, though she already knew the answer. "Confirmed. At least 20 capital ships and numerous support vessels. This isn't a diplomatic mission, Helena. It's an invasion fleet." The command center fell silent as the implications sank in. The Veloxians had never intended to negotiate. Their diplomatic overtures had been a ruse, buying time while they assembled their forces. "Time to arrival?" Chen asked. "At their current velocity, 48 hours until they reach Earth orbit." Chen straightened her uniform, decisions crystallizing in her mind. "Alert the Security Council. It's time to activate Ghost Protocol." "Are you sure?" Reynolds asked. "Once we reveal our capabilities. If we don't, there won't be an Earth to protect," Chen cut in. "The Veloxians aren't interested in treaties. They want our world, and they think we're defenseless. Let's show them how wrong they are." Within hours, world leaders were gathered in secure bunkers, briefed on the situation and the shocking truth about Earth's secret defenses. Some reacted with anger at being kept in the dark. others with relief that humanity wasn't as vulnerable as they'd feared. All eventually agreed on the necessary course of action. The Veloxian ambassador, High Commander Vrax, stood before the United Earth Council, his chidnous exoskeleton gleaming under the chamber lights. His translator rendered his clicking speech into flat, emotionless English. "Your time for consideration has expired," he announced. "The Veloxian Empire requires your world's resources and strategic position. Submit to our authority, and your species will be permitted to exist as a protectorate. Resist, and we will have no choice but to demonstrate our superior power." UN Secretary-General Amara Okafor rose from her seat, her dignified bearing a stark contrast to Vrax's threatening posture. "We understand your position, High Commander. Earth requests 24 hours to prepare our response." Vrax's mandibles twitched in what humans had learned was an expression of contempt. "You have 12 hours. Use them wisely." With that, he turned and left the chamber, confident in his empire's overwhelming military advantage. As soon as the alien delegation departed, Okafor was escorted to a secure facility where Admiral Chen waited. "Is everything in place?" the Secretary-General asked. Chen nodded. "Ghost Fleet has been mobilized. Phantom Squadron is in position. Artemis Base has activated all defense systems. Project Poseidon is ready for deployment. And they suspect nothing. Their scans show exactly what we want them to see: a primitive civilization with rudimentary space capabilities and conventional military forces." Okafor closed her eyes briefly. "Millions will die if we fail. Billions will die if we do nothing," Chen countered. "The Veloxians don't want partners or even servants. They want our resources, our strategic position. Humanity is an inconvenience to them." "Then we have no choice," Okafor said. "Proceed with Ghost Protocol." As the deadline approached, Earth appeared to continue its normal routines. Satellites transmitted the usual data. Military bases maintained standard operations. To all outward appearances, humanity was either unaware of the threat or incapable of responding to it. Meanwhile, in the hidden facilities across the planet, in the secret bases on the Moon and Mars, in the stealth shipyards orbiting Jupiter, and stationed throughout the Kuiper Belt, humanity prepared for war. Admiral Chen stood on the bridge of the EDS Defiant, flagship of Earth's Ghost Fleet. Unlike the utilitarian designs of public space agencies, the Defiant was a marvel of elegant engineering, incorporating the best of human innovation with reverse-engineered alien technology. Its sleek, midnight black hull absorbed sensor scans rather than reflecting them. Its propulsion system left no energy signature detectable by current galactic standards. Its weapons were capable of destroying ships twice its size. And it was only one of 50 such vessels, hiding in the shadows of the solar system, waiting for the order to reveal humanity's true capabilities. "The Veloxian fleet has passed Mars orbit, Admiral," reported Captain Lin Wei, her second in command. "No deviation from their projected course. They'll reach Earth in approximately 6 hours." Chen nodded, studying the tactical display. The Veloxian formation was arrogant in its simplicity, a straightforward approach with minimal scout ships. They weren't expecting resistance. "Status of civilian evacuations?" she asked. "Coastal cities and major population centers are implementing natural disaster protocols," Lin replied. "We've managed to relocate approximately 30% of the at-risk population to shelters. It's not enough, but it's better than nothing. And our allies in the Confederation. 3 species have expressed concern over the Veloxian movement, but none are willing to intervene. The rest are either observing or actively supporting the Empire." Chen's expression hardened. Humanity stood alone, as they had always suspected they would. "Begin final preparations," she ordered. "When the Veloxians enter optimal engagement range, we'll spring the trap." Throughout the solar system, Earth's hidden defenders readied themselves for the coming battle. On the Moon, massive cannons powered up in concealed craters. In orbit around Earth, satellites shed their harmless appearances, revealing weapon systems and defensive capabilities. Deep beneath the oceans, launch platforms prepared to unleash swarms of advanced fighters and drones. The hours ticked by with agonizing slowness. In the United Earth Council chamber, human representatives pretended to debate the Veloxian ultimatum, buying precious time. High Commander Vrax grew increasingly impatient, convinced that the humans were simply too primitive and disorganized to understand the futility of resistance. When the Veloxian fleet finally entered Earth orbit, Vrax delivered his final message. Your deliberation period has ended. The Veloxian Empire now claims this world and all its resources. Any resistance will be met with overwhelming force. Our ships will begin landing operations immediately. Surrender your governmental authority and disarm your military forces. Secretary General Okafor stood before the transmission camera, her expression solemn but resolved. High Commander Vrax, on behalf of humanity, I must decline your generous offer. Earth belongs to its people. We will defend our home. Vrax's translator couldn't fully capture the derision in his response. With what? Your primitive projectile weapons? Your atmospheric aircraft? You have no spacecraft capable of challenging even our smallest vessels. Okafor allowed herself a small smile. Perhaps you should check your sensors again, Commander. As if on cue, Admiral Chen gave the order that humanity had been preparing for over 50 years. Ghost Fleet, disengage stealth systems. All units, reveal and deploy. Throughout the solar system, humanity's true power emerged from the shadows. Humanity unleashed. The Veloxian sensors blared with sudden warnings as 50 warships materialized seemingly out of nowhere, their stealth systems deactivating in perfect synchronization. On the moon's surface, massive artillery emplacements rose from hidden bunkers. In Earth orbit, hundreds of satellites transformed, shedding their disguises to reveal weapon systems far more advanced than anything the Veloxians had anticipated. From beneath Earth's oceans, swarms of aerospace fighters launched, their hulls gleaming like schools of deadly metallic fish rising to the surface. In the Veloxian flagship's command center, High Commander Vrax's compound eyes widened in shock as the tactical displays transformed from a simple conquest mission to a battlefield where his forces were suddenly outnumbered and surrounded. Impossible, he chittered, mandibles clicking rapidly in agitation. Their technology is primitive. Our intelligence confirmed. Your intelligence was wrong. Admiral Helena Chen's voice came through on all Veloxian communication channels. This is Admiral Chen of the Earth Defense Force. Your fleet has entered restricted space without authorization. You will power down your weapons, recall your landing craft, and prepare to be escorted out of our solar system. Vrax's exoskeleton flushed with the iridescent patterns that indicated rage among his species. You dare to threaten the might of the Veloxian Empire. Humans are barely space-capable primitives. A carefully cultivated image, Chen replied calmly. We've been watching the galaxy for longer than you realize, High Commander. We know how technologically advanced civilizations typically treat those they consider inferior. Humanity chose to hide its capabilities until necessary. On the bridge of the EDS Defiant, Chen watched as the Veloxian ships scrambled to form a defensive posture. Their initial shock was wearing off, replaced by the arrogance that characterized their species. They're charging weapons systems, reported Captain Linway. Chen nodded. She had expected this. The Veloxians wouldn't retreat without a demonstration of human capabilities. Defensive protocols active. Target their lead vessels with ion disruptors. Minimal damage, maximum effect. Across the Ghost Fleet, targeting systems locked onto the Veloxian ships. The weapons they deployed were specifically chosen, not to destroy, but to disable and demonstrate technological superiority. Brilliant blue beams lanced out from Earth's defenders, striking 4 Veloxian cruisers simultaneously. The energy weapons bypassed the alien shields as if they weren't there, causing the vessel's systems to flicker and die. On his flagship, Vrax watched in horror as his elite ships drifted powerless, their crews reporting total systems failure with no casualties. This was no primitive species fighting for survival. This was a technologically advanced civilization that had somehow concealed its true nature from the galaxy. Second wave, prepare to engage, Chen ordered. Lunar batteries, target their heavy destroyers. Phantom Squadron, execute flanking maneuver Delta. The battle unfolded with precision that spoke of years of preparation and training. Earth's forces moved with coordinated efficiency that the Veloxians couldn't match. The lunar cannons fired, massive energy projectiles streaking across space to impact Veloxian shields, not to penetrate them, but to demonstrate the power Earth could bring to bear. Phantom Squadron, a group of smaller, faster vessels designed for hit-and-run tactics, executed a perfect flanking maneuver, appearing suddenly behind the Veloxian rear guard. They fired precision weapons that disabled propulsion systems without destroying the ships. "This is your final warning," Chen broadcast. "The weapons we've deployed are set to minimal destructive capacity. We have no desire for war, but we will defend our system with full force if necessary. Withdraw now." The response came not from Vrax, but from his second-in-command, Sub-Commander Krell. "Admiral Chen, High Commander Vrax has been relieved of command due to tactical incompetence. I request a cessation of hostilities to discuss terms." Chen exchanged a glance with Captain Lin. This was an unexpected development, but not unwelcome. "Agreed, Sub-Commander. Maintain your current position. All Earth forces hold fire but maintain combat readiness." The battle paused as suddenly as it had begun. On screens across Earth and throughout the solar system, humans watched with a mixture of fear, pride, and awe as their hidden guardians stood revealed against the backdrop of space. In orbit above Earth, a diplomatic shuttle from the Defiant docked with the Veloxian flagship. Admiral Chen had decided to attend the negotiations personally, accompanied by a small security team and diplomatic advisors. As she stepped onto the alien vessel, she felt the weight of humanity's future on her shoulders. Sub-Commander Krell waited in the ship's conference chamber, his posture submissive by Veloxian standards. "Admiral Chen, the Veloxian Empire acknowledges that we have misjudged Earth's capabilities." "A common mistake," Chen replied evenly. "One that we encourage." Krell's mandibles twitched. "May I ask why? If the galaxy had known of your technological advancement, you would have been welcomed as equals in interstellar politics." "Would we?" Chen raised an eyebrow. "History, both human and galactic, suggests otherwise. New powers are rarely welcomed. They are contained, exploited, or eliminated. We chose to develop in secret until we could defend ourselves adequately." The negotiations proceeded swiftly. The Veloxians, faced with the reality of Earth's hidden strength, were eager to salvage what they could from their failed invasion. Within hours, they agreed to withdraw from the solar system and acknowledge Earth's sovereignty. As the alien fleet retreated, humanity faced a new reality. Their secret was out. Across the galaxy, news spread rapidly of the primitive world that had concealed advanced technology and defeated a Veloxian invasion force without losing a single ship. In the United Earth Council chamber, Admiral Chen addressed the assembled representatives of humanity. The session was being broadcast to every corner of the planet. "Today marks a turning point for our species," she began. "For 50 years, we have worked in secret, developing the technology and infrastructure needed to secure our place among the stars. That secrecy was necessary, but it has now served its purpose." Screens around the chamber displayed images of Earth's defensive capabilities, the Ghost Fleet, the lunar bases, the advanced satellites, and more. "We face a galaxy that will now view us with new eyes, some with respect, others with fear, many with opportunistic interest. Our path forward must balance openness with caution, diplomacy with strength." Secretary General Okafor joined Chen at the podium. "The transition will not be easy. Many of you feel betrayed by the secrecy that was maintained, even from most of Earth's governments. That secrecy was essential to our survival, but the time for shadows has passed. Humanity must now step into the light as a united species." In the days that followed, Earth experienced both turmoil and celebration. The revelation of advanced technology brought demands for its implementation in civilian sectors. The knowledge that humanity was not alone, and that many alien species viewed them as potential conquests, created fear and unity in equal measure. Meanwhile, in the diplomatic halls of the Galactic Confederation, representatives debated how to respond to this unexpected development. Some advocated for isolation protocols, treating Earth as a potential threat. Others saw opportunity for trade and alliance with a species that had demonstrated both technological prowess and strategic foresight. 3 months after the Veloxian retreat, the first official Earth delegation arrived at the Confederation's central station. Admiral Chen, now serving as Earth's ambassador plenipotentiary, led the mission. Their reception was cautious but respectful, the deference given to a power that had proven itself capable of surprising the galaxy. "They're watching us carefully," noted Dr. Elias Reyes, the delegation's chief scientific advisor, as they walked through the station's grand concourse. Alien representatives from a dozen species observed them with varying degrees of curiosity and wariness. "Let them watch," Chen replied. "We've earned our place here. Now we need to show them that humanity can be a valuable ally as well as a dangerous enemy." In a private chamber, Chen met with the Confederation's High Council, representatives of the founding species that governed interstellar policy. The Arcturian chairperson, a being of crystalline structure and ancient wisdom, addressed her directly. "Earth has demonstrated impressive capabilities, Admiral Chen. Yet we must express concern over your species' deliberate deception. Trust is the foundation of Confederation relations." Chen met the alien's gaze steadily. "Trust must be earned, Chairperson. When we intercepted our first transmissions from the galaxy 30 years ago, we learned that new species were typically subjected to guided development, a euphemism for technological suppression and resource exploitation. Would you have trusted us with our own destiny if we had revealed ourselves then?" The council chamber fell silent as her words struck home. Several representatives shifted uncomfortably. Nevertheless, Chen continued, "Humanity comes with open hands now. We seek neither domination nor isolation, but partnership with those who will respect our sovereignty and work with us for mutual benefit." As the diplomatic discussions proceeded, Earth continued its transformation. The technologies once reserved for defense were gradually adapted for civilian use. Interstellar travel became a reality for humanity. Colonies were established on Mars, Europa, and beyond the solar system. Earth's hidden guardians stepped into the light, becoming the vanguard of human expansion into the cosmos. 5 years after the Veloxian incident, Admiral Helena Chen stood on the observation deck of the newly commissioned exploration vessel EDS Horizon. Below, Earth gleamed like a blue jewel against the blackness of space. Beside her stood Captain Lin Wei, now commanding her own ship in Earth's growing fleet. "Do you ever regret it?" Lin asked quietly. "Revealing ourselves to the galaxy?" Chen considered the question. "It was inevitable. We could have hidden longer, but eventually, we would have faced the same choice: remain in the shadows or step into the light as equals. And now, Chen smiled. We explore, we build, we forge alliances and face threats. We do what humanity has always done: adapt, overcome, and reach for the stars. Only this time, we do it knowing we're not alone." As the Horizon prepared for its maiden voyage to a distant star system, Chen reflected on the journey that had brought humanity to this point. The galaxy had underestimated them, seeing only what humans had wanted them to see: a primitive species taking its first tentative steps beyond its atmosphere. That misconception had given Earth the time it needed to prepare, to build in secret the strength required to stand among the stars as equals rather than subjects. The path ahead would not be easy. The galaxy was filled with both wonders and dangers, but humanity would face it on their own terms. The stars no longer seemed ominous to Admiral Chen. They were a challenge, an invitation, a future waiting to be shaped by human hands.